It's not just planning towards the financial independence, but it is also about planning towards your retirement. That was a big surprise for us that the cost of living here in Thailand seems to be, we went to the hospital here and we were taxes. That was definitely one of our big motivator to choose Thailand, because Thailand, the cost of those options are very, very. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to select or evaluate your potential retirement locations or destinations, how we went about it, what was our shortlist, and why we finally chose Thailand as our retirement destination or location, and what are the different types of visas and residency options that exist, and the process towards taking this, choosing Thailand as a retirement destination. Before I do that, a quick introduction about myself. My name is Yogi, and my wife Seema and I, we both achieved financial independence and decided to retire early. And for the last 1 year, we've been on this 1 year amazing world trip that has unfortunately ended, but fortunately has started our next leg of our life, which is leading an early retired life. And we chose Thailand as a retirement location. Just before I go about the evaluation criteria, also about the different countries that we chose as a shortlist, as well as how and the process behind Thailand. It's important to understand that in this whole philosophy of FIRE, financial independence, retire early, it's not just planning towards the financial independence, but it is also about planning towards your retirement. And so while you're chasing a number, or hopefully not a number, but a percentage towards your expenses or a multiplier towards your expenses, while you do that, make sure that you're also planning towards your retirement destination. It could be in your home country, it could be in, if you're in India, it could be in a tier 1 city, tier 2 city, or whatever, or it could be abroad, like we chose. But make sure that you start planning towards that. And hopefully by the end of this video, you will get some tips towards how do you plan and also evaluate some of the countries, specifically Thailand, that what could be the process and what is the pros and cons of choosing it as a location. So let's get started. So first of all, the evaluation criteria towards choosing a retirement location. I've done a dedicated video on that, but just as a recap and a summary of that evaluation criteria, that is cost of living, quality of life, healthcare, the taxes, and finally the residency options or ease of getting a residency in a particular location. In addition to these five, we had also some other criteria, that was ease of travel, proximity to family, social settings that we have, and we used all this also in addition to these five criteria. So do watch that video where I did give a description of these evaluation criteria. But based on these evaluation criteria, we had got a long list that we put it as a short list. And in our long list was our home country, that was India, the country that we spent a lot of our corporate years of our life, that was Netherlands. It also was narrowed down to the short list of the 4 places, which is, one was Dubai, second was Malaysia, third was Thailand, and fourth was Portugal. Now, as you can imagine, from all these 4 places, they have different cost of living, they have different quality of life, they have different cost of healthcare and the quality of healthcare. And each one of them has certain incentives towards taxes, and also they have some level of golden visa or residency visa that you can choose from. Based on our own personal analysis, we chose from this long list and short list Thailand as our retirement destination. Many reasons. One was that proximity to a family, so it's just a 3-hour or a 4-hour flight to India. At the same time, the quality of life here is amazing. It's got, as you can see probably in the background, amazing infrastructure, very clean. This is Bangkok that we are right now, but we've been staying and living in other different cities for the last 2-3 months here. So it's early days, but so far we are impressed with the quality of life, with the cost of living. Interestingly, and that was a surprise to us, that the cost of living here seems to be similar to the tier 1 cities in India, that is Delhi, Mumbai. If you're in those cities, if you go to a restaurant or for a movie there, it interestingly costs as much as going to a restaurant or a movie here in Thailand. Similarly, the public transport is also, par excellence over here. There is definitely a lot more traffic in Bangkok, but so is in Mumbai and Delhi. So overall, that was a big surprise for us, that the cost of living here in Thailand seems to be similar to that of India and much cheaper than that of Dubai or Portugal. I would say it's similar to Malaysia, but then again, there are other factors that we chose Thailand over Malaysia. Fortunately or unfortunately, we tested the medical setup here for the last 2 months, where Seema, when we traveled back from India, she had a bad case of cough or bronchitis because of the dust or the pollution. I don't know what happened. So for 7 days, she had this persistent cough. We went to the hospital here and we were super impressed with the medical service and the cleanliness. It was more expensive than India, but much cheaper than Singapore or Europe or even Dubai that we would have been to. But overall, very impressive. A lot of one-to-one care that we got in these, and there is a lot of international help desk in these hospitals, because medical tourism seems to be a big thing in Thailand and big cities like Bangkok, Hua Hin, etc. Taxes, that was definitely one of our big motivator to choose Thailand, because Thailand has territorial tax, and especially for certain types of visas, and I'll tell you in a minute, there is no taxes on your global income. So that means that you don't pay any taxes, income taxes on your dividends, on your rental income, or any other long-term, short-term capital gains that you may have from other parts of the world. So that helps us to reduce our tax burden a lot. I know Dubai has zero taxes, but then again, there is an indirect tax that when we were calculating the cost of living over there is much more. And then there were other factors that worked for us for Thailand. Seema and I, we both love nature. Probably, as you may have seen from our other videos or some of the shots, that we love hiking, we love going into the nature. And Thailand has quite a rich, diverse nature, beautiful beaches, lovely mountains, lots of lush natural parks over here. So that was the other thing to look forward to. And we're not complaining about the weather either. It's quite similar to, I would say, Mumbai. It's not as hot as Delhi. And it remains, I would say, warm throughout the year. And so even in the wintertime, it's very pleasant. So you don't have those shivers that we would have had in Delhi or in Europe or any other place. And it doesn't get as hot, or at least crazy hot, like it does in Dubai. Now coming to the residency option, and that's what I wanted to give you awareness about. And that was the other surprise and aha moment for us, that getting the ease of residency is so amazing here, and there is no differentiation that you have an Indian passport, you have a European passport, American passport, Filipino passport, doesn't matter. So the residency option is not based on your passport, but certain qualification criteria that you have to meet. So that was one surprise. And the second was that the cost of those options are very, very reasonable, and you'll be shocked to hear when I tell you about that. Before I do that, just important to understand that there are 3 types of residency options on a long term, and I mean those are excluding that you've come here on a work permit that you would have done. That is similar, that you take up a job in any country and you apply for a work permit. This is what I would say the non-work permit residency option. So first of that is the retirement visa itself. So retirement visa, the qualification criteria is that you have to be above 50. You have to have a certain amount of passive income that you have to show that this is your annual income that you can sustain yourself. You need to have a medical insurance. You need to have no police record, etc. And the cost of that is just $130 a year. That's it. So imagine you get an option to live in another country for just $130 as long as you meet those qualification criteria. So even if you're not a 50-year-old right now, even if you're 30, 35, 40, if you plan accordingly to make sure that you have enough passive income that sustains you, that's something which you can think about here. The second option is something called the elite visa. This has been introduced in Thailand for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. This visa has no qualification criteria. So you could be 30-year-old, you could be 20-year-old, you could have zero passive income, you could have zero income for that matter, doesn't matter. All you need to do is you need to just pay the visa fee to get that. So it's like almost like a tourist visa or a business visa for a long term that enables you to live in Thailand for long term. So it could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years. You can choose the visa type. Unfortunately for that visa, the fees, as expected, is expensive because there is no raw qualification criteria. So it works out, what I understood at least last, is around $400 a month. So that's a very expensive proposition. I think it's suitable for people who are looking because of, relocating because of their business purpose or any other reason to be away from whatever. So maybe it works for them, but it's an expensive proposition. And as you can imagine, we did not choose that option. The third option is, which is a newly introduced option just from the last 1 year, and that is a visa called the Long Term Residency visa. So in short, an LTR visa. And that itself has a few variants. So it could be that you get it as a wealthy pensioner visa. The second is that you could be a digital nomad, or third is, I think, a smart visa. So there are a couple of variants that you can choose, and each of these variants have a different qualification criteria. So we've gone for this wealthy pensioner visa that has, you should be above 50 years old, there has to be a certain amount of passive income that you have to have, or you need to make an investment in the country of $250,000 in form of an apartment, etc. And that's what we chose, and that enables us to live in a place. And interestingly, and that was the other surprise that I found, is that $250,000 in Bangkok gives you a lot more property, or even anywhere else in Thailand, than it does in Gurgaon or Mumbai or Delhi, because that real estate market has become crazy. And then that's when you realize that how much bang for the buck that you get from these countries. So not only that you get a property, but you get even a residency possibility. I think Dubai has a similar residency by investment by property. It's a higher threshold, and it's, I think, for 5 years. This is for 10 years. We chose Thailand over Dubai, not just because of the, let's say, the weather, but also from a nature perspective. As you can imagine, that there is a lot more diversity of nature here than in UAE. And honestly, personally, I believe it may be different for the others. The lifestyle in Dubai is it's not just the cost of living, but the lifestyle in Dubai increases your cost of living, just because it seems to be a very much of a showing culture, while it doesn't seem to be the case so far that we see in Thailand. So these were the three of the options that are available from a residency. And for long-term visa, we paid something around $1,350 or $1,400 for 10 years of a residency visa. So it works around $130 a year. And imagine that you, for 10 years, within $1,400, you get a 10-year residency in a country. I think that's an amazing deal and great value for money. And on top of that, just the business case could be that you do not need to pay income tax on your income that you're earning in the other parts of the world. You have to check where that income is coming from, because you may have withholding taxes in those parts of the world, but at least you don't need to pay here. And there are certain places where if you invest properly, you may not even need to pay there. And there is another video that I've done dedicated towards citizenship, residency, and taxation. If you watch, you can understand how you can minimize that burden for yourself. And that itself can become a business case. As far as the process is concerned, it was surprisingly very simple for us. Many people, they go through an agent to apply, do the whole process. We decided that, look, we have time because we were traveling at that time. Let's try through their portal that they have, because they have a web portal that you can go on the long-term visa, Google it, you can find it. And on the portal itself, you can upload documents. And that's what we did. We uploaded documents. They received the documents. We got the receipt. Within a week, they send us that these are the clarifications that they have on the document. This is the document. They want additional documents, including marriage certificate, etc. We uploaded it again. Next week, they had one or two other clarifications. So we had a couple of those interactions online with them. And within a few weeks, I think the total process from the time we uploaded the document till the time we got the approval was just 2 months approximately. So within 2 months, without any interaction online, we were able to get the LTR approval. And the amazing thing was that we paid $0 for the application process itself. And that was our purpose. We said, let's try uploading the documents, see if everything works, if we meet their criteria and if all the documents are in order. And if they are not, then we'll probably go to an agent. And surprisingly, with all the queries and answering their queries, they found all our documents were in order and they provided the approval. $0 paid, or 0 rupees or 0 Thai baht paid. Once we got the approval, they told us to either get the stamping done in the home country or within Bangkok in their one-stop immigration center that they have. So we decided to do it here in Bangkok. So when we came in here, we went to that one-stop immigration center, and that was the other pleasant surprise. It was like walking into a business class lounge at an airport. Very nicely done lounge. You go, you sit, and then someone comes and assists you with all the paperwork, takes you to the immigration counter, gets your picture done, gets your passport stamped, you pay your fees at the counter, and you're done and dusted. So within 2 hours, going there, sitting down in a nice, relaxed manner, we were out with our visa stamp. So we were very surprised that it looked actually too good to be true, that the entire process was so seamless and so well done. This was our experience. I don't know how the others have had their experience. If someone has gone through, please do comment. Would love to hear how and what, if there was any feedback. So overall, I think for us, it was a seamless experience. And so far, for the last 2 to 3 months, we've been impressed with the infrastructure, the cost of living, the hospitality here, the quality of life, the healthcare. So all the evaluation criteria that we had theoretically had earlier, we seem to be ticking in the boxes there. Again, it's just 2 months. It could be the honeymoon period. I'll try within 6 months or 1 year again, keep giving you an update and keep telling you what are the practical nuances or the problems that you may have in staying in a country like Thailand. The only things I see right now is maybe one is the language, that there are certain places that you still struggle a little bit with the language, but honestly with Google Translate and with so many tools and everything, you do get written somewhere in English. So far we've not had too much of a problem with the language either, and we do plan to, over the period of time, learn Thai here while we are here. So my suggestion would be that, as I started with the video, that make sure that you are planning your retirement location and retirement destination like you're planning your financial independence journey. And there seems to be a myth that, hey, this is not going to work. No, you have to start planning right now, because by the time you're 50, most likely your kids would either be in college or they would be working at some place. So you would probably be an empty nester by that time. So this is how you do it. This is how you plan. So I hope that this video gives you a glimpse into the evaluation criteria, how in those evaluation criteria are in practice for a country like Thailand, what are the options for Thailand to take that residency, and how to go about it. If you do have any questions about the evaluation criteria or how to go about choosing Thailand as a location or any other country, because we did a detailed analysis of the other countries, including Malaysia's program, Make Malaysia My Second Home, the Golden Visa program of Dubai, as well as the Golden Visa for Portugal. So happy to answer your queries and clarifications if you do plan to retire internationally. So I hope this video was helpful. It gave you some new insight towards your retiring early part. And if you did enjoy the video, like the video, please do like and subscribe and share it with your family and friends. Till the next topic, till the next video, and most likely till the next location in somewhere in Thailand or maybe in India, because we'll be in India for the next few weeks. Goodbye from me. Bye-bye.